Hello, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is Blueprint Explosive Exclusive and I am Heena Gambhir. Viewers, the mid-air bomb scare is getting very, very serious. More and more flights have got bomb threats today, taking the total number of flights that have been targeted in last 1 week to 19. Now look at these flights that have got the bomb threats in the last 1 week. The probe is underway. A minor was picked up on Wednesday in connection with the bomb threats that were issued to the airlines. The minor allegedly sent bomb threats to 4 flights using a fake social media account. This is what the investigation has revealed so far. He reportedly had planned to take revenge on his friend over money dispute. Now, let's tell you a little bit about the impact this has. Now, aircraft is out of operation for about 3 to 3.5 hours. Just imagine, you are there at the airport, you get inside the aircraft, your flight is about to take off so that you can land at your destination in just a few hours, and suddenly there is a bomb threat mid-air. The entire operation gets suspended and the aircraft in fact remains out of operation for at least 3 to 3.5 hours. Now that means major inconvenience to all the passengers. At times we are in a hurry to reach our destinations, but this becomes a big problem, and this is what thousands of passengers, viewers, have been facing in last 1 week, and hence it is a very, very serious matter that needs immediate attention. And after that, there is disruption in the schedule of other flights as well, because there is a standard operating procedure that needs to be followed whenever there is some kind of a bomb threat in place. Then there is a huge financial burden as well for the airlines. Some reports are suggesting that the burden can actually be around 20 to 25 lakh rupees for every flight if there is a mid-air bomb threat. Now just imagine the impact the airlines have had to face, the passengers like you and me have had to face over the last 1 week. Now Centre has taken note, and here's what the Civil Aviation Minister has said about this very, very serious matter.
Action is being taken on these kind of issues so that they don't become precedent for future.
So around more than 15 calls in just 48 hours. So do you smell any conspiracy against the Indian Airlines?
No, we can't comment anything like a conspiracy, but whatever little bit we have known, it's coming from minors or some pranksters. Genuinely, for some very little petty things, they are trying to do these kind of threats on the social media or through phone calls. So they are all very minor and isolated incidents. There is no kind of conspiracy that we can comment on.
One of our Air India flights was grounded as well. Several other aircraft also received similar threats. Our agencies, Ministry of Home Affairs and other relevant agencies, they are looking into the matter, and hopefully some arrests, I understand, have been made. Some FIRs have also been filed.
Akanksha as well as Priyank are joining us live for more on this big story. But first, let's tell our viewers what the Centre is now planning to do. We just heard the version, of the Civil Aviation Minister. Then we also heard what the MEA is doing as far as this entire matter is concerned. We are also learning that the Centre is planning a law now to deal with this kind of a menace, the increasing number of bomb threats mid-air that we are seeing almost on a daily basis. Akanksha, we are learning that there is some kind of a new law that the Centre is considering, and all these people who are, making these hoax bomb threats could actually be put in no-fly list.
Well, absolutely, Heena. See, in the last 5 days, there have been diversions and delays as multiple flights have received multiple bomb threats through social media. More than 20 flights of Indian carriers, and these are both domestic as well as international, they received these threats, and these threats turned out to be complete hoax. And after that, Civil Aviation Ministry has said that they are in fact looking at a new legislation which is in pipeline to deter the hoax caller or anyone who posts such threats on social media. Mind you, these are going to be strong rules that will be framed by the Civil Aviation Ministry is in touch with the Law Ministry to in fact frame these legislation, and also the civil aviation sources have said that there will be strong rules to penalize such hoax callers as well as those who post on social media. So for this, they are in touch with the Law Ministry to make such rules, and these hoax callers will be put on no-fly list, which could last for many years. And also, Ministry is looking at the global model as well to understand how other countries deal with such situations.
Internationally, how this issue is dealt with, it's something that the Civil Aviation Ministry is looking at, and you're telling us that they could be put in no-fly list. So clearly stricter punishments we can expect for these people who are behind these hoax bomb threats mid-air. Akanksha, stay with us. Let me go across to Priyank as well. There's some breaking news that we are getting for our viewers at this point in time. Remember, the probe is underway and we are learning that the intelligence agencies have traced recent bomb threats made to Indian flights to IP addresses in London and Germany. Let's go across to my colleague Priyank for more on this. Priyank, give us more details because this is very, very serious now.
Yes, Heena, and just a short while back, 10-15 minutes back, one of the Air India flight from Mumbai to London for the Heathrow airport has done safety landing. The AI-129 was given permission after more than 35 minutes taking several loops in London so that the flight can be landed, and there were Air Force aircraft which was also behind the Indian aircraft which was carrying passengers, and the passengers have reached there safely. While talking about these threats, certainly the I4CI unit of the central government, which is a computer response team, has finally traced the origin of two of the Twitter handles, the X handles, which has originated from London and Germany. So these are the last location which can be traced because the suspects are using VPN, which is a encrypted thing where the location is difficult to be traced. But let me tell you to our viewers that these origins, the IP addresses, are bouncing. So it is quite possible that in the next stage, the location of these VPN can be found at a different location. So giving these kind of threat has certainly caused, as you were rightly saying, crores of loss to the exchequer. There have been panic among the citizens before flying the craft. So the government and several state governments, in fact, the US government has also given a clear-cut indication that they are also probing the case because one of the flights was bound to land in New York.
Because it's not just domestic flights, international flights are also, flights to international destinations are also getting these hoax bomb threats. Thank you very much, Priyank, as well as Akanksha, both of you, for joining us with all these details. We'll keep coming back to you for more on the story. Meanwhile, let's take these points across to our guests joining us on the broadcast. We have Parvez Damania, former Executive Director, KFA and an Aviation Expert. We have Captain Amit Singh as well, founder, Safety Matters Foundation, live with us this evening. Good evening to both of you, gentlemen. Parvez Damania, I want to begin the discussion with you. It's a serious matter because someday when it will happen for real, then, I don't know what will happen because these are all turning out to be hoax bomb threats. But this is causing a lot of inconvenience to the passengers. What can be done, in your opinion, to deal with it immediately?
Thank you for inviting me. It's not just causing inconvenience to passengers, but it causes tremendous loss of revenue, loss of time, effort, everything for the airline. You see, once a plane is diverted and it's grounded for 3-4 hours, the entire process has to go through, everything has to be offloaded, passengers have to be offloaded, and then the whole schedule goes for a toss. These subsequent flights get delayed, cancelled, flight duty time limitation comes in, food shortages on the aircraft. There are multiple repercussions. The central government has been continuously saying that they're going to bring about stringent laws, but nothing seems to have happened till date. And this is the most shocking incident, that is in a very short time, about 20 such incidents have occurred. These kind of incidents do occur. I'm not saying they've never occurred before, but in rare times. But now suddenly, I don't know why this sudden spate of so many incidents. And the government should take very serious action. The central government should talk to the law ministry and come out with a new law urgently. 100% they should be put on no-fly list and maximum action should be taken for them. Because this is a very, very serious matter. And like you said, God forbid, I hope it never, ever happens. But suppose it is a real threat, then people won't know how to react. So I hope this never happens again. Our security systems are quite strict. Our airports work very efficiently and the checks are carried out in detail. but this is a huge inconvenience and loss to everybody and great inconvenience to passengers and a huge financial burden to the airlines.
Clearly, huge
And of course,
inconvenience.
for internationally also, we lose space because these incidents are more happening on Indian origin aircrafts. Or Indian origin
Absolutely.
companies.
Huge inconvenience to the passengers and a huge financial burden as well, for airlines, for the airports as well. Captain Amit Singh, now, how will you react to the response that we've got from the government so far to deal with this kind of a menace? And in your opinion, what should be done immediately? Because it's just increasing every single day. My colleague Priyank was just now telling us that yet another flight had this hoax bomb scare.
So the response is very meek, or rather not addressing the issue. It is about how to deal with people who are caught. So how does law take its course? But the idea is to prevent and preempt. For that, the foundation is very weak because everything is based on risk assessment. How do you do a risk assessment based on information that you gather? Information gathering is very poor because we are still looking at human detection, and our security is primarily based on multi-layer security of humans and machines, not advanced machine learning or artificial intelligence. In a recent 2022 case in UK, wherein a teenager again sent a message on Snapchat of a possible threat that he would be hijacking the aircraft just as a joke, in jest. The Wi-Fi of the Gatwick airport was picked up, that message was picked up by the security.
Right.
And by the time he landed in Spain, he was behind bars. So that is how you have to act and preempt. There are multiple things, like in US, you have a bomb threat assessment decision makers course.
Okay.
The person who's taking a decision, he has to undergo a specialized course of how to differentiate between what is a specific real threat and what is what you can basically say that it is a repetitive or just somebody's trying to play a prank.
Right.
So you have advanced systems like natural language processing, wherein the texts can be analyzed by
Those are very
AI.
important points you've made, Captain Amit Singh, and I really hope that the government is also listening and will, in fact, look at these measures that you are suggesting, which perhaps are needed at this point in time. Completely out of time, but I appreciate both of you gentlemen for joining us here and sharing with us your perspective on this very important story that impacts each one of us and our viewers as well. Thank you for joining us this evening. We'll slip into a very short break, but there's more lined up for you on the other side.